Ladies and gentlemen, the result of Class 50 Brahman heifer, 12 months under 14 months. First, catalogue number 95, North Coast Shallow, exhibited by the North Coast Brahman stud. And second, catalogue number 94, Bundalir Miss Bronte Manso, exhibited by Bundalir Brahmans. Our judge, Matt Kirk, will now comment on the class.
Thank you. Two really good representatives of the breed here with these two heifers, and they're a little bit harder than you might think to split. The heifer that I've placed up in the first position today, she's got all that femininity you need, the strength of spine. She just I love the way that the shoulder lays in, and you can just see that she's going to grow into a really useful female in not just for her owners or but for the breed in general. She's just her bone is probably what's just given her the edge today. There's obviously a little bit of a difference in feed preparation, but that's irrelevant to me. It's just that natural muscling that she has, combined with the femininity and the shoulder structure in this heifer, that's put her up there in that position today. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. We now move to Class 51, which is the Brahman heifer, 14 months and under 16 months. And I understand we've got catalogue numbers 98 to 100 parading. Again, with exhibitors, would you please advise the stewards of any withdrawals in any classes? Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, the result of Class 51, the Brahman heifer, 14 months under 16 months. First catalogue number 98, Hunterway M. Misselina, exhibited by Mitchell Hunter. Second catalogue number 99, Raglan Miss Frankie, exhibited by Raglan Brahmans. And third catalogue number 100, Whittaker Miss Harmony, exhibited by Whittaker Brahman Stud. Our judge, Matt Kirk, will now comment on the class.
Thank you. There's only 3 heifers in the class, but to be honest, it's fairly hard to put them in positions, and another judge would put them completely different to what I have today. Like everything in life, nothing's perfect, and none of these heifers are perfect, but they're still very good, and they all have different things about them which makes one a little bit better than the other. And I guess it's my job to decide which one of those things is more important than the other. And I've come to this conclusion, and fortunately I'm not going to get hung on it, but the heifer I have up in the front place today is, as I've spoken about since the first class, and if you want to lead her away, please. This heifer flows. She's the most balanced, I believe, heifer in the class in all the aspects that I've spoken of previously. She flows when she walks. She's got good width in a thurl set in behind, yet she comes into her shoulders nice. She's still got that wedge shape about her, and extremely feminine. The heifer in second place, once again, an extremely feminine heifer. Probably just gives a little bit away in bone, but there again, she flows when she walks, and it's not so easy to see here as they're trying to get back to their mates, but it's that fluency when they walk that I believe is an indicator of longevity of an animal in the herd. The heifer in third probably gives a little bit away in that department as opposed to the heifers above her, but a lot to be admired in this heifer, the thickness, the softness, and the femininity once again, but just giving a little bit away in that fluidity of movement. Thank you.
Oh, man, can I get you to sign on those? Ladies and gentlemen, we now have Class 52, which is the Brahman heifer 16 months and under 18 months. And we should have catalogue numbers 101, 102 and 104 parading. You'll note that catalogue number 103 has been withdrawn. Ladies and gentlemen, the result of Class 52, Brahman heifer, 16 months and under 18 months. First, catalogue number 101, Raglan Miss Fallon, exhibited by Raglan Brahmans. Second, catalogue number 104, Mountain Springs Carinya, exhibited by Eugene and Jessica Mollenhagen. And third, catalogue number 102, North Coast Posey PS, exhibited by North Coast Brahman Stud. Our judge, Matt Kirk, will now...
Really, extremely well grown for their age, very feminine, yet maintaining their femininity. The heifer in third, structurally is perfectly sound. She just gives a little bit away to the heifers above her in growth and frame score, and that I don't know where she's come from, but she's very sound heifer. But the heifers above her, obviously, they're show heifers, and they've had a good life. And the heifer that's in the lead, though, she to me. With a bone, the way she carries herself, the way she flows, everything that I've spoken about in every other class prior to this one, she exhibits. She's and the reason she's got up into second position primarily is just a little bit more of a maturity thing, and that's a personal preference. I tend to like bigger, functional cattle. This heifer's going to be plenty big enough, don't worry about that, but sometimes you see exceptional animals in the breed that can still maintain their themselves and the ability to walk, to do all the things that I've mentioned earlier. And I believe the heifer in the first position exhibits that's better than the one in second, although the one in second on any other day with another heifer in the class, she most likely would have won. Thank you.
Matt, I've got another one there for you to sign. Ladies and gentlemen, we now move to the judging of the junior champion Brahman heifer, and we'll have catalogue numbers 93, 95, 98 and 101 to parade. Thank you. And would the second place getters in the previous classes please stand by in case you're required for the judging of the reserve champion. Ladies and gentlemen, you'd be aware there's a correction here. We have Class 53, the Brahman heifer, 18 months and under 20 months. And we have catalogue numbers 106, 107 and 108 in the ring. And catalogue number 105 has been withdrawn. Ladies and gentlemen, the result of Class 53, Brahman heifer, 18 months and under 20 months. First, catalogue number 108, Busy Sheila, exhibited by Busy Brahmans. Second, catalogue number 106, Raglan A Miss Vienna, exhibited by Amy Olive. And third...
Wrong way around.
Which way did I go? Sorry. We'll start again.
Hang on. So you got M triple C?
Yeah, one.
No, M triple C down here.
Where?
There, M triple C.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's first. You got her third.
107 is first.
Yeah.
Yeah, one.
They're not meant to be.
Hey?
That's not meant to be her number because M triple C.
Well, you got to get the numbers right.
Well, that's the wrong. You're calling out the wrong names.
Ladies and gentlemen, our judge, Matt Kirk, will now comment on the class.
Thank you. Three very good heifers once again. We're starting to get into a little bit more age, and these heifers are starting to develop into, it's getting a little bit more from potential to reality now as they get up and they're starting to grow into themselves and carry more weight and this, those little imperfections we were talking about earlier in the younger cattle are either hyphenated or they can carry themselves as they should. The heifer, if you'd like to lead her off, this heifer I found to be the most balanced heifer in the class. There's three stylish heifers in the ring now, but this heifer to me was probably the most balanced across all facets of the things that we look for in our females. She's carrying, ample coverage. She's got that fluid movement that I spoke of earlier, a lot of natural muscling. But where I found that she stood out in this class above the heifers below her is what I can start to see with her udder developing. It is as it should be, and that to me is one of the main reasons she is in first position. The heifer in second, a very stylish heifer. She just flows across the grass. She's got a lovely straight back where she comes into a spine, beautiful Springer rib, and when you get behind her, she's got a lovely thurl set. And honestly, there was not much between herself and the heifer in third. Once again, just structure, just slight structure, and it wasn't much. There was very little between these two heifers when you add up pros and cons, but it was just a slight structural thing that put the grey heifer in second over the red heifer in third. Thank you.
Well, she reckoned it was wrong, but I still. Ladies and gentlemen, we now have the judging of the junior champion Brahman heifer, and catalogue numbers 93, 95, 98, 101 and 107 in the ring. Ladies and gentlemen, the junior champion Brahman heifer for 2023 is catalogue number 101, and that's Raglan Miss Fallon, exhibited by Raglan Brahmans. And the reserve champion is catalogue number 107, M Triple Carly, exhibited by M Triple C. And the heifers this morning will be sashed by Janelle McCamley from Lancefield Brahmans. I, I'll now ask our judge, Matt Kirk, to comment on these two heifers.
For me, as a Brahman breeder, it's more than about these two heifers here. The heifers, all these heifers that we've ended up with in the ring, are an absolute credit to the breed, and I'd like you to put your hands together for the breeders of these cattle, please. That wasn't an easy job finding these two heifers in that group. The quality is exceptional, and so for the grey heifer that I've put up in the the champion position, I just love the growth in this heifer. I love where I'd want to see her in 12 months' time. She's going to be a matron with that with tremendous bone, frame, femininity, everything we're looking for in a female at that age, and with the right udder development at this point in time. The heifer in second, that's run second to her today, a completely different type, but the softness in this heifer, the natural muscling at this point in the life, combined with, once again, the what I can see is a reproductive her udder is exactly where it needs to be. It's not carrying fatty residue, good sized teats. Everything is where it needs to be at this point in time, and they're an absolute credit to the breed, the pair of them. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we move now to the first judging of the junior Brahman bulls, and we'll have class 54. The bull 8 months and under 12 months to parade. And we have catalogue numbers 109 to 119 parading. Again, exhibitors, would you please advise the stewards of any withdrawals? Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, in this class 54, the Brahman bull, 8 months and under 12 months. We have catalogue number 109, weighs 395 kgs, a daily gain of 1.54, P8 and rib fat measurements of 7 and 5 millimetres, an eye muscle area of 78 square centimetres. Catalogue number 110 weighs 441 kgs with a daily gain of 1.48, P8 and rib fat measurements of 9 and 6 millimetres, and eye muscle area of 88 square centimetres. Catalogue number 111 weighs 440 kgs with a daily gain of 1.48, P8 and rib fat measurements of 10 and 6 millimetres, and an eye muscle area of 85 square centimetres. Catalogue number 112 weighs 441 kgs, a daily gain of 1.45, P8 and rib fat measurements of 9 and 5 millimetres, an eye muscle area of 87 square centimetres. Catalogue number 113 weighs 522 kgs with a daily gain of 1.72, P8 and rib fat measurements of 10 and 7 millimetres, and an eye muscle area of 102 square centimetres. Catalogue number 114 weighs 402 kgs, a daily gain of 1.20 kilograms, P8 and rib fat measurements of 6 and 4 millimetres, and an eye muscle area of 83 square centimetres. Catalogue number 115 weighs 441 kgs, a daily gain of 1.31 kilos, P8 and rib fat measurements of 8 and 5 millimetres, and an eye muscle area of 81 square centimetres. Catalogue number 116 weighs 408 kgs, a daily gain of 1.16, P8 and rib fat measurements of 6 and 4 millimetres, and an eye muscle area of 80 square centimetres. Catalogue 117 weighs 467 kgs with a daily gain of 1.28 kilos, P8 and rib fat measurements of 7 and 4 millimetres, and an eye muscle area of 90 square centimetres. Catalogue number 118 weighs 386 kgs with a daily gain of 1.0 kilos, P8 and rib fat measurements of 10 and 6 millimetres, and an eye muscle area of 79 square centimetres. And catalogue number 119 weighs 439 kgs, a daily gain of 1.19 kilos, P8 and rib fat measurements of 7 and 5 millimetres, and an eye muscle area of 86 square centimetres. Ladies and gentlemen, the result of Class 54, Brahman bull, 8 months and under 12 months. First, catalogue number 110, exhibited by Whittaker Mr Navy. Whittaker Mr Navy and exhibited by Whittaker Brahman Stud. Second, catalogue number 112, Whittaker Mr Legend, exhibited by Whittaker Brahman Stud. Third, catalogue number 117, Malabar 2211, exhibited by Malabar Red Brahmans. And fourth, catalogue number 114, Malabar 2205, exhibited by Malabar Red Brahmans. And now I'll ask our judge, Matt Kirk, to comment on the class.
Thank you. Once again, numbers-wise, I'm very happy with the amount of cattle that were presented here in this young class, but you'll think I've probably lost the plot here. I've got two different types of bulls up the front, but bear in mind this is an 8 to 12-month-old class. We have to allow for growth because there's going to be plenty more of it. You know, they're very young cattle here. And I've gone for two different types of bulls because there's both maturity sets need to be rewarded here in the ring. The Red Bulls are a different growth pattern to the two Grey Bulls, and I believe each in their own are a set. And I've gone with the Grey Bull in the lead. He's the most complete bull in that medium growth frame sort of thing, but for a bull of his age, he's extremely well grown. The spine and the muscle and the natural muscling that you see exuded in this young calf are to be admired. His testicular development at this point is admirable, and he flows. As I talked about all through the heifer classes, it's that ability to walk that is so important, and it's an obvious sign of any structural issues down the track. The bull in second just gives away a slight, well, he doesn't give away age, but he just slightly in his frame score and going forward. The bull above him just outdoes him on the day in that department. The bull in third, as I said earlier, a different style of bull altogether. But in such a young class, I can see a frame, I can see a siriness in that young bull that's to be admired. And we can't just get a set on one particular style of animal. That style of animal needs to be admired too, because he's going to end up a very big bull, as is his mate, the other red calf here. The Red Bull I have in third just gives once again away a little bit in frame score and probably eventual maturity size, and all different sorts of animals need to be admired for what they are. And when we have such a young class and so much development ahead of them, as long as they're structurally sound at this point and they're good examples of their maturity pattern, I believe they need to be rewarded. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. The next class to be judged is 55, a Brahman bull, 12 months under 14 months, and we'll have catalogue number 120 to parade. This bull weighs 442 kgs with an average daily gain of 1.16 kilos. P8 and rib fat measurements of 9 and 5 millimetres and an eye muscle area of 81 square centimetres. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of Class 55, Brahman Bull 12 months and under 14 months, is catalogue number 120, Rodlin Munro, exhibited by Rod and Lynn Sperling. And our judge will reserve his comments for later judging. The class moving into the ring now is Class 56, Brahman Bull 14 months and under 16 months. We have catalogue numbers 121 to 125 parading. In this class, catalogue number 121 weighs 552 kgs with a daily gain of 1.21 kilos, P8 and rib fat measurements of 8 and 5 millimetres, and an eye muscle area of 105 square centimetres. Catalogue number 122 weighs 600 kgs with a daily gain of 1.30 kilos, P8 and rib fat measurements of 12 and 6 millimetres, and an eye muscle area of 104 square centimetres. Catalogue 123 weighs 546 kgs with a daily gain of 1.18 kilos, P8 and rib fat measurements of 13 and 7 millimetres, and an eye muscle area of 96 square centimetres. Catalogue 124 weighs 520 kgs with a daily gain of 1.09, P8 and rib fat measurements of 11 and 7 millimetres, and an eye muscle area of 107 square centimetres. And catalogue number 125 weighs 550 kgs with a daily gain of 1.11 kilos, P8 and rib fat measurements of 14 and 7 millimetres, and an eye muscle area of 110 square centimetres. Ladies and gentlemen, the result of Class 56, which is Brahman Bull 14 months and under 16 months. First is catalogue number 122, Hunterway M. Easton, exhibited by Mitchell Hunter. Second is catalogue number 125, Whittaker Mr. Yeti, exhibited by Whittaker Brahman Stud. And third is catalogue number 121, Timbrel Mr. 1045, exhibited by Terry Connor. Our judge, Mr. Matt Kirk, will now comment on the class.
Thank you. Once again, the quality of the cattle that are coming forward today is exceptional, and I'm extremely impressed with the cattle that are coming up here today. The bull we have up in first position today, if you'd like to lead him away, please. Weight for age, this bull is the top of the class in his class. Biggest is not always best. I've used that line many times, but I just felt that the way this bull carries himself, the maturity pattern that he has at this point in time, his reproductive maturity at this point is where he needs to be, and just combine that with his beef attributes has put him at the top of the tree today. The little bull in second's going to grow into a big bull. You've got to admire his strength of spine of this calf combined with his bone. He's probably just about to grow into himself a little more than he is today, but he's not far away. But it's just probably the bull above him just a little stronger through that thurl region, that hip to pin, that places him there today. The bull in third position, another very structurally sound bull, but is probably just giving a little bit away in weight for age today. He's still a very sorry bull, and I believe just given a little more time, he'll grow into himself a touch more. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. Ladies and gentlemen, in Class 58, which is the Brahman Bull 18 months and under 20 months, we have catalogue numbers 126 to 129 parading. Catalogue 126 weighs 640 kgs with a daily gain of 1.11 kilos, P8 and rib fat measurements of 10 and 7 millimetres, and an eye muscle area of 110 square centimetres. Catalogue 127 weighs 618 kgs with a daily gain of 1.06 kilos, rib and P8 measurements of 12 and 6 millimetres, an eye muscle area of 118 square centimetres. Catalogue 128 weighs 638 kgs with a daily gain of 1.09, P8 and rib fat measurements of 19 and 12 millimetres, and an eye muscle area of 116 square centimetres. And catalogue number 129 weighs 632 kgs with a daily gain of 1.06 kilos, rib and P8 measurements, or P8 and rib measurements rather, of 12 and 7 millimetres, and an eye muscle area of 114 square centimetres. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been asked to draw to your notice that there are free skin checks available in the arena in the booth behind us, and that should be of interest to almost every one of you here. Ladies and gentlemen, the result of Class 58, Brahman Bull, 18 months and under 20 months. First, catalogue number 126, Tango P Accelerator 8, exhibited by Glenn and Tanya Opperman. Second is catalogue number 129, Token Alley, exhibited by Token Brahmans and Horses. And third is catalogue number 128, Raglan Mr. Marboon, exhibited by Raglan Brahmans. And our judge, Mr. Matt Kirk, will now comment on the class.
Excuse me. Thank you. Once again, when we're in this mid-range of sort of ages with these cattle, we're out of the young cattle. We're not yet at the more mature cattle. So they're starting. Some cattle are starting to mature, and some are still got a little, a little bit further to go. So it's a toss-up in some cases of personal preference as to what style of animal that you're after, and other people will go different ways. But today, the three animals that we have up the front, in fact, all four animals in the class, were all structurally quite sound. If you'd like to lead that first bull away, please. The bull I've placed in first position is here primarily because he's a little bit different style of the bull in second. For the type that he is, I just felt this bull was a little stronger in the head than perhaps the bull below him. And the bull in second, in saying that, there's a lot of other good attributes with that bull, but I'm just trying to show you why I've placed this bull second to the bull above him. This bull's a different maturity pattern to the bull in the first position, and he too, if that's the style of animal that you like, and I do, that's placed him up here above the animal in third. The second bull's a really strong bull, but I just felt the bull above him was a little stronger in the head. This bull here, probably not as clean underneath as the bulls above him, but still a very strong representative of the breed. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now have the judging of the junior champion Brahman bull with catalogue numbers 110, 120, 122 and 126 parading. Would the reserves from those classes please stand by in case you need it for the judging of the reserve champion? Thank you. we'll have catalogue number 112 parading for the judging of the reserve champion, Brahman Bull. Ladies and gentlemen, the junior champion Brahman Bull for 2023 is catalogue number 110, Whittaker Mr. Navy, exhibitor Whittaker Brahman Stud, and the reserve champion is catalogue number 126, Tango P Accelerator, exhibited by Glenn and Tanya Opperman, and the bulls are being sashed this morning by Elizabeth Fahey from Nettle Creek at Grafton. I'll ask our judge, Matt Kirk, to speak on these bulls.
Thank you. As in life, everything's about balance, and I believe the calf that we've put up in champion position today it was the most balanced bull in the ring at the time. When you combine all the different attributes that you have to find the optimal, your first choice, I guess, in a group of cattle, I believe that the bull in the championship position exudes all the attributes of a Brahman sire. He's only a calf. I think he came out of the first class, but the world's his oyster going forward. At this point in time, you can only pick faults with cattle and see what's going to go wrong. And at this point in time, he has very few, and therefore that's rare. So he's worthy of that purple ribbon. Thank you. The bull in second, again, a beef power machine going forward. Probably the balance of the little bull up the front is what got left him in second position as opposed to the purple ribbon. Thank you.
Thanks, Matt. Thanks, Matt. We now move on to the judging of the senior classes, beginning with the senior cow or heifer, and we'll have catalogue numbers. We'll have class 60 first. That's the heifer, 22 months. No, I'll get it right yet. Class 59, 20 months and under 22 months. Both catalogues have been withdrawn. So catalogue 60 is a heifer 22 months and under 24 months. And we'll have catalogue numbers 132 to 135 parading. Again, would exhibitors please advise of any later withdrawals in these classes? Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, in Class 60, which is the Brahman heifer 22 months and under 24, we have catalogue numbers 132 to 134 parading, and you'll please note catalogue number 135 has been withdrawn. Ladies and gentlemen, the result of Class 60, Brahman heifer 22 months and under 24 months. First, catalogue number 132, Junadu Butch Cindy, exhibited by Dean Rasmussen. Second is catalogue number 133, Busy F Superwoman, exhibited by Busy Brahmans. And third is catalogue number 134, Busy Stylish, exhibited by Busy Brahmans. Our judge, Matt Kirk, will comment on the class.
Thank you. From the first class this morning, I've been harping on about feet and legs and structural soundness, and essentially that's probably why this class is lined up the way it is. The steel blue heifer really caught my eye as she walked into the ring. She's very, Dean, if you'd like to lead her away, she's very stylish heifer. correct, very, very good on her feet and legs. Um, she's yeah, she's a real matron, I believe, in time to come. And the heifer in second, as I said, the feet and legs probably sorted this class out, but this heifer's to be admired. You know, you have to sort of do a comparison about what things are more important than others. And this heifer in second, she's got tremendous width through the hind end. She's got breed character written all over her. And I believe possibly she's in calf. The third heifer obviously is in calf, and that's a credit to her sexual reproduction at such a young age. And there again, the third heifer is very breed orientated, stylish, and a heifer that has a lot going for her. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now have Class 61 at Brahman cow or heifer 24 months and under 30 months, and catalogue numbers 136 to 138 parading. Ladies and gentlemen, the result of Class 61, which is Brahman cow or heifer 24 months and under 30. First is catalogue number 137, Raglan Miss Payton, exhibited by Raglan Brahmans. Second is catalogue number 138, Whittaker Miss Lily, exhibited by Whittaker Brahman Stud. And third is catalogue number 136, Raglan Miss Noella, exhibited by Raglan Brahmans. And our judge, Matt Kirk, will comment on the class.
With this judging job, you spend half your time trying to think of what you're going to say without tying yourself in knots. And bottom line for this class, I believe, is profitability. We are all in this game about making money at the end of the day, and I believe this heifer in the first position is just that. She's feminine. She's got a good teat size and placement. She's obviously cycled and got in calf early. She's structurally sound, but she's got that. She just oozes that femininity, and so does a heifer. And you're not supposed to judge the calf, but the condition of the calf says everything. And she's doing a great job on a calf, as you know, from her position. Hence the reason she's up there where she is. She's months ahead in making you money than the two heifers in the next two positions. The heifer in second, again, a very a heifer with tremendous thickness, and the angularity of a shoulder that flows into a spine, and then you get in behind this cow and you can see the width of a pins, which is extremely important. But a thurl set is to be admired. She's got adequate bone. She's a matron. She's obviously in calf. She's starting to spring, and she's only a few months behind, well, a number of months behind the heifer in first, but by the same token, she's obviously well in calf, which she needed to be at this point of her life. The heifer in third just gives a little bit away in frame size to the heifer in second, and probably the heifer in second might be a little bit stronger in her udder development at this point in time, in her teat size and placement. Thank you.
Thanks, Matt. Next into the ring is Class 62, which is a Brahman cow 30 months and under 60 months. And we'll have catalogue numbers 139, 140, 141, 143 and 144 to parade. I understand that catalogue number 142 has been withdrawn. Ladies and gentlemen, please note that as well as catalogue number 142, catalogue number 140 has been withdrawn. Ladies and gentlemen, the result of Class 62, which is a Brahman cow, 30 months and under 60 months. Catalogue number 139 is first, Busy F. Rain R4, exhibited by Levi Floyd. Second is catalogue number 141, Whittaker Miss Chanel, exhibited by Whittaker Brahman Stud. Keep it right out of the way, please. Ladies and gentlemen, my apologies. We'll start again. My apologies, ladies and gentlemen. We'll go back and start again on. First is catalogue number 141, Whittaker Miss Chanel from Whittaker Brahman Stud. Second is catalogue number 144, Cadet Miss Novelty, exhibited by Token Brahmins and Horses. And third is catalogue number 143, Bundaleer Miss Jordan, exhibited by Bundaleer Brahmins. I'll now ask our judge, Matt Kirk, to comment on the class.
Thank you. As you could probably see, I was agonising over a couple of placings in this class, and as is always the case, you're weighing up. As I said earlier, none of them are perfect, and you're weighing up which things are slightly more important than others, and you know, at the end of the day, it probably came down to udders here, and what we see today, right now, while they're in the ring, that's only a snapshot of their life, and I can only judge based on what I see right now. I don't know if calves have sucked them. I don't know any of that stuff. All I can do is make a decision based on what I see right now, and at the moment, I just felt that the cow we've put in first position is just a little stronger in that udder department. They're both tremendous cows. Strength of spine, width and behind. Both these cows are just they're really good representatives of their breed, and you can lead her away too. And they're really to be admired. You know, if you had a paddock full of cows like this, you could die a happy man. And but yeah, it was only a little thing that came down that decided between these two cows. They're tremendous cows, and the cow in third, she's a really good functional cow. I believe she's almost, you know, she's a month off having a second calf, which is to be credited too. But there again, I can only judge based on what I see today, right now, and you know that she's will be a tremendous matron too, that cow, as is the cow in fourth. She has a calf on her now, but just gives a little bit away in frame size and that type of thing at this point in time. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now have the judging of the senior champion Brahman cow heifer. And we'll have catalogue numbers 132, 137 and 141 parading. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd ask for the exhibitors of the second place getters to stand by in case they're required for the judging of the reserve senior champion Brahman cow or heifer. Thank you. We'll have catalogue number 144 into the ring as well for the judging of the reserve champion. Ladies and gentlemen, the senior champion Brahman cow or heifer for 2023 is catalogue number 141, Whittaker Miss Chanel, exhibited by Whittaker Brahman Stud. And the reserve champion is catalogue number 144, Cadet Miss Novelty, exhibited by Token Brahmins and Horses. And I understand that the senior champion will receive the Rob Innes family trophy exhibited here, presented here this morning by Sue Innes. I'll now ask our judge, Matt Kirk, to comment on the cows.
Thank you. There's not much to say. I said it all in the last class as the first and second place getters from the last class, and I had that much trouble splitting them that I couldn't do it again. And so hence they've landed champion and reserve champion, and they're both very worthy winners and fantastic examples of what Brahman cows can do. Thank you.
Yeah, Sue, here she comes. Ah. Shield.
Oh no,
Good stuff. Sue brought it over. Okay. No, that's senior champion cow. Do you want to come out?
yeah,
Now, sorry, who are you?
Rebecca from
Rebecca
South
Miller.
West Queensland.
The champion cow also receives a trophy presented here this morning by our Miss Showgirl entrant from southwest Queensland. Ladies and gentlemen, we move now to the judging of the Grand Champion Brahman cow or heifer. But it's the Grand Champion now, isn't it?
The catalogue is
141.
Grand Champion now.
Yeah, but the Grand Champion and the Junior Champion will come out now. That's right. Yeah.
Senior and Grand, Senior and Junior.
Yeah.
144 is the other one for the reserve.
Yeah. 101 is the Junior Champion. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. So 101 was the.
Yes.
Yeah. 101. Ladies and gentlemen, we move, as I say, to the judging of the Grand Champion Brahman cow or heifer for 2023, and we'll have catalogue numbers 101 and 141 parading. Thank you. You'll note that the Grand Champion Brahman cow or heifer receives the RNA Shield and sash, and also the Elders Shield of Excellence, which is being presented here this morning by Eliza Connor from Elders Studstock Rockhampton, and the International Animal Health is presenting a prize as well of Augmentin Cattle Poron, also for the champion. Ladies and gentlemen, the Grand Champion Brahman cow or heifer for 2023 is catalogue number 141, Whitaker Miss Chanel, exhibited by Whitaker Brahman Stud. And as I mentioned earlier, that receives the RNA Shield and Sash, and also the Elders Shield of Excellence, sponsored by Elders every year here and most appreciated by the RNA. And that's being presented by Eliza Connor from Elders Studstock, Rockhampton. Our judge will now comment on the cow. Sorry, too many names.
Thank you. A truly worthy winner of the title here. But I can tell you now, you don't realise how close that was. I'm not someone that runs away from a controversial decision now and again, and that one was a lot closer than you think. It essentially, I mean, we've got potential, in fact. And the fact is this cow's got a calf on the ground. She's doing a hell of a job on it. She's got everything you'd ask for in a Brahman female. But it all boiled down to, it was just a case of the shoulders on this cow. I believe she just laid into that shoulder just a fraction better, and just that slightly more feminine shoulder in her than in that young heifer. But trust me, that was a close run thing, and but I'm happy with the decision I've made today. Thank you.
Matt, do you want to jump in for a picture? Maybe on this side? Come on. Thank you.
And ladies and gentlemen, I didn't mention earlier, but the Grand Champion cow or heifer also receives a product from International Animal Health, which is Augmentin Cattle Poron. And we have the Miss Showgirl for New South Wales there presenting the sash. Ladies and gentlemen, we move on now to the judging of the senior bull for 2023, beginning with class 63, which is bull 20 months and under 22 months. And I believe we have catalogue number 145 parading. Ladies and gentlemen, in class 63, we have catalogue number 145, and he weighs 734 kgs with an average daily gain of 1.13 kilos, P8 and rib fat measurements of 9 and 5 millimetres, and an eye muscle area of 119 square centimetres. And being the single exhibit in this class, That's bull 20 months and under 22 months. Catalogue number 145 is the winner, and that's Dranudu 625, exhibited by Dean Rasmussen. And
Westmoreland, Brisbane Valley. Olivia.
and he's being sashed this morning by Olivia from the Westmoreland, Brisbane Valley young showgirl. Ladies and gentlemen, we move now to class 64, which is the Brahman bull 22 months and under 24 months. We, I believe, have catalogue numbers 147 to 151 parading. Catalogue number 147 weighs 738 kgs with a daily gain of 1.08 and P8 and rib fat measurements of 17 and 8 millimetres and an eye muscle area of 126 square centimetres. Catalogue 148 weighs 794 kgs with a daily gain of 1.13 kilos, P8 and rib fat measurements of 17 and 9 millimetres, eye muscle area of 129 square centimetres. Catalogue 149 weighs 776 kgs, a daily gain of 1.10 kilograms, P8 and rib fat measurements of 19 and 10 millimetres, an eye muscle area of 130 square centimetres. Catalogue 150 weighs 782 kgs with a daily gain of 1.10, P8 and rib fat measurements of 17 and 9 millimetres and an eye muscle area of 127 square centimetres. And catalogue number 151 weighs 684 kgs with a daily gain of 0.93 and P8 and rib fat measurements of 18 and 9 millimetres and an eye muscle area of 124 square centimetres. Ladies and gentlemen, the result of Class 64, the Brahman bull, 22 months and under 24 months. First, catalogue number 148, Busy F Standout, exhibited by Busy Brahmans. Second is catalogue number 149, Busy F Statesman, exhibited by Busy Brahmans. And third is catalogue number 147, Clairvale Gordon, exhibited by Clairvale Brahmans. And our judge, Mr. Matt Kirk, will now comment on these bulls.
Thank you. Once again, I suppose that's why they call it judging. You've got to pick between a lot of different things, and at the end of the day, I've gone with these three bulls in this order. As much as the structural correctness of the feet and legs and the walking ability is important, and the reproductive side of things is important too, and you know, these three bulls are all the same age, relatively the same weight, give or take a few kilograms. They each walk well, the feet, legs straight, everything you need to find there. At the end of the day, to me it came down to, well, the bull in the lead position has just got a touch more length of body to the bull that is placed in second. He's just got that little bit of extra stretch, marginally cleaner underneath, and that trend tends to flow down the line through this class in the first three bulls. There again, this bull walks away good. He's getting behind him. He's got a lot of thickness through his back end. Thurl set, hip to pin, he's good, and a lot of natural muscling in both those lead bulls, in all three bulls up the front here. It was just that there's just that tidiness underneath, I guess, that's got the bull in third where he is. I had a lot of trouble sorting them out, but at the end of the day, I'd come to terms with that is as important going forward as feet and legs. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. Ladies and gentlemen, you'll note in Class 65, which is a Brahman bull, 24 months and under 27, that the only entry there, Class 152, has been withdrawn. So we move now to Class 66, which is Brahman bull, 27 months and under 30 months. And I believe we have catalogue numbers 153 and 154 to parade. Thank you. Catalogue number 153 weighs 1,052 kilos with a daily gain of 1.19 kilos and P8 and rib fat measurements of 22 and 13 millimetres and an eye muscle area of 146 square centimetres. And catalogue number 154 weighs 788 kgs with a daily gain of 0.85 kilos, rib and a P8 and rib measurements of 13 and 7 millimetres and an eye muscle area of 128 square centimetres. Ladies and gentlemen, the result of Class 66, which is Brahman Bull 27 months and under 30 months. First is catalogue number 153, Whittaker Mr. Cruiser, exhibited by Whittaker Brahman Stud. And second is catalogue number 154, Bundalia Mr. Jackson Manso, exhibited by Bundalia Brahmans. Matt, you're going to talk? Our judge, Matt Kirk, will now comment on the bulls.
Thank you. We're into the heavyweight classes now, and we certainly have that in the bull with the blue ribbon today. Bull with tremendous weight for age, eye muscle. Get in behind him, he's thick. He's got enough cover on him, but he's smooth. For a bull of his weight, he just flows. You can see him there now. He has that fluidity of movement that I've been speaking about from Class 1 today, and for an animal of that age to carry himself that well and be that good on his feet and legs is tremendous. And the bull in second today, again, a good calf. He just was outclassed today a bit on the day.
Ladies and gentlemen, we move on to class 158 in the breeders' group, which is 3 animals, both sexes to be represented.
Thanks, Matt. The next class in is Class 67, which is the Brahman Bull, 30 months and under 42 months. And we have catalogue numbers 155 and 156 parading. Thank you. Catalogue 155 weighs 1,028 kgs with a daily gain of 1.08 kilos, P8 and rib fat measurements of 18 and 9 millimetres, and an eye muscle area of 148 square centimetres. And catalogue number 156 weighs 978 kgs with a daily gain of 1.03, P8 and rib fat measurements of 13 and 7 millimetres, and an eye muscle area of 142 square centimetres. Ladies and gentlemen, the result of Class 67, which is a Brahman Bull, 30 months and under 42 months. First is catalogue number 155, Raglan Mr. Roland, exhibited by Raglan Brahmans. And second is catalogue number 156, Raglan Mr. Jono, exhibited by Raglan Brahmans also. And our judge, Mr. Matt Kirk, will now comment on these bulls.
Thanks. Different styles of bulls, and both very good examples of the type that they represent. Just lead him away, Amy, please. They both flow. This big fella can walk. Just I can tell by the shape of his gait that he's got no problem. He's a bit like a few horses I've had. They a bit slow going out, but come home pretty good. Yeah, he's the way he lays down his fat, he moves, his smoothness, his fat cover. He gives, the bull in second gives 50 plus kilos away to him at the same age, and he's a different style of bull. But and again, structurally very sound. It just comes down to a little bit of personal preference, and those dollars per kilo, and it doesn't matter what sort of cattle you breed and when you want to turn them off, that is always front and centre. So both very good examples of the breed and both very sound bulls. It's just personal preference and that little bit of weight difference. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we now have the judging of the senior champion Brahman Bull for 2023. And we'll have catalogue numbers 145, 148, 153 and 155 parading. Thank you. Can we have catalogue number 154 into the ring, please, for the judging of the Reserve Senior Champion Bull? Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, the Senior Champion Brahman Bull for 2023 is catalogue number 153, Whittaker Mr. Cruiser, exhibited by Whittaker Brahman Stud. And the Reserve Champion is catalogue number 155, Raglan Mr. Roland, exhibited by Raglan Brahmans. And these bulls are being sashed here at the moment by Eliza Connor from Elders Stud Stock Rockhampton. And I'll ask our judge, Mr. Matt Kirk, to comment on the bulls.
Thank you. We had, was it 5 bulls out there on total that are really strong bulls. The young bull that's still left here that I didn't comment on his class because he was the only bull in there, he would have stood a lot of competition. I really like this bull. He's got a head to die for, that bull. I kept going back and looking at that bull's head. It is so good. And if we could put heads on cattle like him, more of them, then we'd be a lot better off. That bull has got the bone and growth that you need in a bull of 20 months of age. I just felt that these bulls above him just tracked a little better, and that's a maturity thing. It's a and then I'm sure he'll improve in that area. But he's got everything there now, the framework, to be extremely competitive in time to come, and a bull worthy of probably a higher place. But unfortunately, we only got 2 ribbons here for this. The bull that's up front, well, I looked at different maturity patterns. I looked at different things, and this bull fits smack bang in the middle of everything. It doesn't matter whether you want early, late, whatever you want, this bull fits the bill. The thickness that he has in through behind goes right through his ribs, right through to his shoulder, but his shoulder's not to the point where you're going to have calving problems. He's got strength of spine, and that spine runs all the way through to his tail, right down into his twist, and adequate bone, good testicles. Sheath is where it needs to be, and the bull, for a bull of that age to be able to get about that fluently, is an absolute credit to him. The bull in second, once again, a tremendous example of what a Brahman bull should be. It's just that probably that thickness right through from the hind through to the front that put this bull in second position, or reserve champion today, but a very worthy champion in all respects. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be moving shortly to the judging of the Brahman groups for 2023. And I believe we're starting with Class 68, which is a pair of bulls bred and owned by the exhibitor and must have been entered in the general classes. And I believe we've got catalogue numbers 157. There's 158 there. The exhibitors, please let the stewards know if there's been a withdrawal. Thank you. Hey? Oh. My apologies again, ladies and gentlemen. I'm getting ahead of myself. We go to the judging of the Grand Champion Bull with catalogue numbers 110 and 153 parading. And again, my apologies. Ladies and gentlemen, the Grand Champion Brahman Bull for 2023 is catalogue number 153 Whittaker Mr. Cruiser, exhibited by Whittaker Brahman Stud. Now, the bull is being sashed by Mrs. Jill Raddle from Kanduna Brahman Stud at Injune, and also receives the RNA trophy and Shield of Excellence. Shield and Sash, and the Elders Shield of Excellence being presented here this morning by Eliza Connor from Elders Stud Stock Rockhampton. And I also mentioned that there is also the product from International Animal Health in the form of an Augmentin cattle pour-on. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we do now move on to the group judging, and we start with Class 68, which is a pair of Brahman bulls. They must have been bred and owned by the exhibitor and entered into the general classes. I understand that we do have catalogue numbers 157 and 158 parading. Ladies and gentlemen, the result of Class 68, which is a pair of Brahman bulls, having been bred and owned by the exhibitor and must be entered in the general classes. And first is catalogue number 157, exhibited by Whittaker Brahman Stud. Second is catalogue number 158, exhibited by Raglan Brahmans. And third is catalogue number 160, exhibited by Brizzy Brahmans. Judge Matt Kirk will now speak about the class.
Thank you. Criteria is a little bit different probably for doing these group classes, and it's as much about evenness and direction of where you think the breed is going or what you can see he's doing with the cattle that he puts out here for us to look at. And I believe you can see that in the pair that I have up in the first position. If you were to blow this little young bull up and look at him in 18 months, 2 years' time, I don't think you're going to see a bull that's dissimilar to the bloke that's walking along behind him. Colour's a bit different, but type-wise, maturity pattern-wise, bone and outlook, I think there's a real commonality in types between the young bull and the bull that walks along behind him, and combine that with the quality animal in the pair of them, and that you've got animals that just have to be put up in first. The pair in second, led by a tremendously powerful big bull, a big growthy, heavy bone bull. The bull that runs along behind him, a quality animal in himself, but just a little bit different type to the bull that he's paired with. And on the flip side of that, you've got these two red bulls here that are very similar types. I wouldn't mind betting they're closely related, and they're similar types and styles and very good individual bulls themselves. And then they are a pair, but just probably the quality of the animals above them probably had them placed in third today. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we move on now to Class 69, which is the Breeders' Group, Brahman Breeders' Group. And is represented by three animals with both sexes to be represented, bred and owned by the exhibitor, and all animals must have been entered in the general classes. We have 5 exhibitors listed. Please advise if anybody has withdrawn their exhibits. Ladies and gentlemen, it appears that catalogue number 164 has been withdrawn. Ladies and gentlemen, the result of the Class 69, the Brahman Breeders Group, and that comprises 3 animals, both sexes represented, bred and owned by the exhibitor, and all animals entered in the general classes. First is catalogue number 165, exhibited by Busy Brahmans. Second is catalogue number 162, exhibited by Raglan Brahmans. And third is catalogue number 161, exhibited by Whittaker Brahman Stud. Now, these groups are being sashed by Reed Rattle, who's from Kanduna Brahman Stud at Injune, president of the Brahman Breeders Association. And I'll ask our judge, Mr. Matt Kirk, to speak about the groups.
Thank you. Probably for those that are still here that have been watching all day, you've thought I've probably lost the plot and done something different, but I haven't. I mean, this is why we have breeders groups, group classes. As I said in the previous class, it's to show the direction in which the breeder's heading, and I believe the class that I have up there in the first position, if they could lead off, please, probably exhibits the most consistency through the group of any of the groups that we had out here today. The 2 bulls are very similar types, and the heifer fits that program, that style that the breeder's aiming towards, obviously. And I believe that criteria is what's put them in first position, and probably sorts out second and third too, to a large degree. We were led with a tremendously growthy bull up in the start, and there's a heifer at the back end of this class. She's got a lot of growth, a lot of style, and she's going to be a big cow, but a very functional cow, I believe. I really like that heifer. And the cow in the middle, nothing wrong with the cow. It's just that she's not quite the same maturity pattern of the other two. And that's the same with this third group of cattle. We've seen the first bull, and we've seen all three of these with broad ribbons, but I just don't believe the cow is quite the same maturity pattern of the other two cattle, and just slightly different style, and hence the reason they're placed the way they were. Thank you.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, the final class for the Brahmins today is the Progeny Stakes Group, and that comprises 3 animals, but with both sexes represented, with all of the progeny of one sire or dam, but not necessarily owned by the exhibitor. All animals must be entered into the general classes, and please note that this group receives the A.M. Sullivan Memorial Trophy, and I'm sure the Brahman breeders very much appreciate the provision of that trophy. Ladies and gentlemen, the result of Class 70, which is the Brahman progeny stakes group of 3 animals, both sexes to be represented, and all progeny of the one sire or dam, but not necessarily owned by the exhibitor. And first is catalogue number 168, Kenroll, Mr. H.J. Ray, exhibited by Busy Brahmans. And second is catalogue number 166, NCC Easterway, exhibited by Whittaker Brahman Stud. Our judge, Mr. Matt Kirk, will now comment on these groups.
Thank you, and the same as the last class, this is a similar sort of thing, only this time we're looking to see what the sire or dam's doing, and how consistent they can be, and once again it's the same group that won the last class, but the consistency just flows throughout them. I'm not sure how much more consistent you can get in looking at both the direction and the quality of the cattle on an even keel. Once again, looking at growth patterns, structural correctness, and breed appeal. The class in second, this was closer than last time, in my opinion. You can really see what the bull's doing and how consistent he is. It's just probably just one animal, just a fraction behind the other two, and it is a group of 3, and that, I guess, there's no disrespect to any animal within that group. It's just one doesn't fit slightly, more so than the group above. I'd like to take this opportunity, I think I'm done, to thank the stewards, to thank the crowd for patiently listening to me waffling on, and I thank you for your attendance.
Thanks, Matt, and I don't think we had too much waffle at all. Thank you very much for your informative comments during the morning. I'd like to thank the exhibitors all for their cooperation here this morning, and also thank all of you who've been here all day, and most of all, I'd like to thank the stewards for their work in the ring and behind it. That's all very much appreciated. Thank you very much.